I don't want you to sit on me. Not in this robe. It's too thin. You claw me. I'm so tired. I'll tell you why in just a minute. It's not even for great reasons. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Wednesday. It is June 30th, 2021. Yeah, somehow we're halfway through 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. That's a cat. Well, yesterday was all recording, and we crushed it. Andrew came up, we recorded 4 episodes, one of which being the bonus episode for this month's Patreon, which will probably not hit until tomorrow. That's supposed to be June's. Sorry, it's late. I kept kicking it back because I didn't have anything to say, and Andrew and I did something kind of cool. We're going to release it in video, even to the audio folks, the audio tier folks. So you'll get a choice. I'll probably do both. Probably release it in both files. So you have an option. We recorded 3 more episodes, one of which being a Q&A, a couple topic episodes, and then good morning, Casper. And then I came inside, put all the gear back together, and recorded 2 guest episodes that I thought they went awesome. I got to be honest with you, with y'all. I think I'm getting better at this. I really do. I think that I've gotten to be better. I was feeling like I was stagnating for a while. But just the way some of these things are going. And I think part of it is that we're consolidating all these recordings into one day, which makes a long day. But I feel like it allows me to focus. You know, I finish up with an interview and then I go have something to eat and I come back and I do another interview, just episode. And I'm not pulled in all these different directions. I don't have to go from, what was I working on to getting ready for the podcast. Because that's what I used to do, because we would have podcasts like anytime. And then we started narrowing it up. And the more we did that, the better they got. For me, interviewing someone is a mindset. Recording these episodes is a mindset. And to have to switch back and forth between that mindset and other mindsets where, I'm doing other things, hopefully well, that takes a toll and it takes time. So I like what we're doing. I got a message from Julius yesterday. Sometime this morning, I should be able to see the next How to Fight video. It should be up for me to review. And if all goes well, it'll be ready for all of you tomorrow. We did another one. Came out great. First one was good. I think this one's at least as good. Oh. See? So I did all those episodes. It was hot. It was outside as little as possible. I ran the air conditioner until like 9 o'clock last night. Then I went to the gym. And I probably pushed it a little too hard. Not so hard that I'm really sore, but just hard enough that I needed more sleep than I got. When did I go to bed? 9:30? Not enough sleep. I needed more. What's going on today? What are we doing? I got a client call. I think that's it. I have one client call. Oh, and I'm talking with one of the team this afternoon. I hope if any of you watching are ever involved in my day and I don't mention you, it's not because I don't want to talk about it, it's because I forgot. There's a reason I have a calendar. If anybody ever... Let me show you what my calendar looks like. There's a reason. Come on. There's a reason I don't remember these things. Because not that view. You ready? This is what my week looks like. This is how I keep things together. This is why I'm so productive. Because I schedule everything. So don't be offended. Keep getting feedback. A couple more people received their copy of Marshall Journal, and they're posting on social media about it, and they're really pumped about it. And I'm excited for it. Justin and I had a meeting yesterday. Talked about what we're going to roll out and when for the digital copy and the promotion. He's updating the digital file for me, and then we should be posting that live tomorrow. So we throw it back in the opening page. That ad. Haven't seen that ad in a while, have you? Well, I've been excited with the whole process. Everybody's really digging it. We've done something right. And it's a great testament to when you have a good idea, don't always worry about where the money's going to come from. If you can make that idea happen, and we did. You know, there was an idea here. I knew there was something to it. I didn't know how we were going to pay for it. Especially since I said we're never going to put ads on the website. There are no ads at marshalljournal.com. It's not a subscription service. I knew we were going to have to do something extra. I had no idea what it was going to be. It took well over a year before we even had the idea that it would be a print magazine that we would sell ads to. Sometimes you just got to run with it. Anything else going on today? I think I'm going to go see the new Fast and Furious movie. I should be able to do that this evening. I like those movies. I've seen, let's see, I didn't see the first or second in theater. I didn't see the third in the theater. I've seen the rest of them in the theater. So what's that, 4 through 8? Yeah. I do have to say, the cast keeps getting a little ridiculous. They're putting everybody in these movies. Which is kind of silly. Where are you going? I'm not a blanket. You can't hide behind me. Stay closed, bro. I don't think there's anything else going on. I gotta get out and knock back some of the weeds around the garden. They're suppressing some of the things that are growing. So that'll be the first thing I do this morning after I talk to you. I gotta get out there. And I gotta re-record some of the video footage I took yesterday for TikTok. Because, you know what I keep forgetting? TikTok is a vertical. This is horizontal. TikTok, I gotta do this. YouTube, I gotta do this. And I keep forgetting to do that. And the footage I recorded yesterday, it doesn't look good, or, cropped. It's like the worst letterbox format for anybody who gets that reference. Casper says, what is your favorite kata and why? Depends. It honestly depends on the day. So the one that most people who know me would expect me to say would be kusanku, which is the form that I've done in competition for close to 30 years. I like it. It works for me. It's one that few people do. But it's not a form that I can just kind of casually do. If I kind of just want to walk through a form and just kind of feel good with it, I might do Seisan, the Yishinru version of Seisan. If I'm looking to figure something out, I'm doing Shodan, Pinyon Shodan. Which, for my Taekwondo friends, is very similar to Chonji. There's nothing like Seisan. There's nothing like Kusanku. There are some similarities between some of these forms. Maybe I should try to come up with a form family tree. That would be a lot of work. And everyone would disagree with it. No, I don't think I'm going to do that then. I don't mind stirring the pot, but I don't want to stir the pot with lots of effort. And the best example is, and for some reason the name will never sticks in my head and it drives me nuts. In most karate systems, you have Teki, Teki Shodan, Nahanshin, depending on how you say it or what the style is. There's a version in Taekwondo, and it is incredibly similar. It just happens to start going the other direction. It's like a mirrored version of the form. I can never remember the name. Drives me crazy. It's too similar to have just originated on its own. It was borrowed. It was borrowed and changed. It says, I'm learning Tuki no Kata. I don't know that. There are a lot of great forms out there that I just don't know. I love forms. Forms are great. But I don't... There was a time in my life when I wanted to remember them all. You know, I came up in my karate school and we had Kyokushin and we had Ishinryu and we had forms that came in from Shotokan that people would kind of lend to us and we learned those. And then I went and trained at a Shotokan school and tried to remember all those forms. And so when I graduated college, theoretically, I knew like 30, 35 forms. I forgot them all. Not all of them. The ones I grew up with as a kid are still in there. I still know those. And those are the ones that I pull out from time to time. The Ishinryu and the Kyokushin ones. What do you do? The cat. Can you see what the cat's doing? She's just sitting there, facing the back of the couch, purring. You're a weirdo. I'm so glad it's not hot. All the windows are open at 65 degrees. It feels miraculous. I slept, well, not enough, but I slept well last night. It was just so hot the last few days. I don't know where you are. I know we do have some people in the Pacific Northwest portion of the U.S. where they're setting heat records, which is insane. You know, 110 degrees up there. Ugh. This was our second heat wave of the year. This was our second. Yesterday was 90 degrees. Third day in a row. Casper says, first cat. We could do a spin-off show called First Cat. I don't want you to sit on me. You're going to claw my leg. There were a bunch of dogs at the gym yesterday when I came out for my workout. And just kind of sat down with them and had two of them in my lap. I haven't seen this breed other than these dogs. Miniature golden doodles. So like a golden retriever and a miniature poodle. And they're adorable. Really, really cute. Very sweet dogs. These two have more of the disposition of golden retrievers than they do poodles. And so the two of them were in my lap. And then the gym dog, the owner's dog, was like in my face. He's more or less a yellow lab. Wanted me to throw the ball. And then somebody else showed up and brought their dog. And that dog was kind of like a lab Rottweiler mix. And then I had that one on this side. So I'm sitting on the ground and I got 4 dogs on me. And if you know anything about me, you know that was the highlight of my day. Casper says he would watch First Cat. Do you want your own show? I post pictures of her on Instagram, and she has her own Instagram account. It was more an idea to just kind of put pictures of her out there for the inevitable when she is gone, and I can just kind of flip through them easily. I have so many pictures of her. I have hundreds of pictures of her. The woodchuck I need to catch. I see it. All the way on the far side of the lawn. I may need to move the trap up there. Well, let's see what you guys gave me to talk about. Because we have talked about everything else. Everything but. Oh, here's an idea, and I'm curious what you guys think of it. So we had fun when we did the live shows. When we did Whistlekick Live. The How to Fight shows. We could make those live. So especially after tomorrow's episode, I want you guys to check it out. Would you want to tune in live to that? Now, obviously, we would still release them as episodes because we can't edit in the footage. Casper says he has more photos of his dog than of his face. I think that's what you're saying there. So check out How to Fight. Let me know. Let me know if that's something Andrew and I talked about briefly yesterday. You know, should we open that up? I don't know. We have 2 more past guests. I don't know when it would be. I don't know when we would do it. It would probably not be at a fixed time because we're coordinating 3 different schedules. You know, instead of the schedule being the priority, it would be, you know, when everybody can do it. But, you know, do we open it up? Do we make it available for people? I don't know. We could. We are just constantly looking for how do we extend the value of what we do. Good morning, Stacy. How do we make what we do more interesting and more fun for everybody? Today is Mike Tyson's, what number? Take a guess. How old did Mike Tyson turn today? Or is turning today? 55. That man is 55 years old. He remains one of the scariest people I've ever seen. Not in person, I've never met him in person. The power that he hits with is so out of control. You could take Mike Tyson now. You could take Mike Tyson 20 years from now. And I don't care. At my best with... So, with all the celebrity fights and boxing stuff that's going on, you know, you start thinking, well, how much money would I step in a ring with this person or that person or this person for? If the rules were that he could hit me as hard as he wanted, I don't know that there's enough money for me to step in the ring with Mike Tyson. Because that's just too much force. I might die. Like, I'm pretty sure I might die. That's a terrible sentence. It would have to be a stupid amount of money. Like, if somebody said, would you box Mike Tyson for $1 million? No, I would not. I would absolutely not. Because there are other ways I can make $1 million. And I'm probably not going to survive. I would step in a ring with either of those goofballs. Those goofball YouTubers. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying I would win, but I would probably not die. So today is his 55th birthday. Fighting is a sport. If you're not humble, it's going to bring humbleness to you. I enjoy listening to him talk now that we're at a point where he's willing to go on podcasts, and I think he has his own podcast. He's been really interesting the couple times I've heard him on Joe Rogan. Because on the one hand, he is not what you would refer to as a traditionally intelligent or articulate man. Mike Tyson is, I mean, right there, calls it humbleness. The word is humility. And I'm not throwing shade at him, but that's true. But despite his language patterns, despite the way he talks, he still has good stuff to say. He's been through a tremendous amount. By the time that man was 30, he went through more living than the majority of us will ever do in our entire lives. Go back and look at his childhood. Go look at what they started doing to him. I think he had his first pro fight at like 17. And, all the stuff that's going on right now with people talking about Britney Spears. Mike Tyson's experience was different, but he still had a lot of people running his life and taking his money. And if I remember correctly, he was bankrupt at one point. Made something like $500 million fighting professionally and still managed to go bankrupt. That's not okay. The most famous Mike Tyson quote: "Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the mouth." Oh, by the way, these quotes are from Frank. Thank you, Frank. I apologize for not shouting you out. Frank always makes sure we have plenty of good stuff to talk about. And someone's throwing a link on yesterday's episode that YouTube looks like has decided to spam with no context. So I'm not even going to click on it. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. That happened to me. I remember the first time I trained with the Superfoot people. I went down to Florida, and what I was not told was that there was somebody coming who was kind of a bully. I got to know this person a little bit, and their story's kind of sad. I feel badly for them. But even at, how old was he at the time? So this was like 4 years ago. This was 5 years ago. This was 2016. I think he was late 40s, early 50s, and he was a bully. And we started sparring, and he knew it was my first time working Superfoot with everyone. And he's just pounding on me. And I will always remember that moment because as soon as we were done with that, it's like any other martial arts class, everybody's paired up. As soon as we were done, I stepped out, said I had to go to the bathroom, and I just went to the bathroom and I cried. And I'm not embarrassed to say it. I went in there and sobbed. And in hindsight, it was for a few reasons. One, because I had somebody beating on me, and it hurt. It was unpleasant. It was unnecessary. It brought up some stuff from childhood, but more so, I never imagined I would get picked apart that badly by somebody. I thought I had better skill than that, and I didn't. And so I shook it off and got to come back, and I'm much better now. There were holes in my game. Actually, that's one of the episodes Andrew and I recorded yesterday. How to design the perfect fighter. That was a fun one. We had a good time with that. My plan was that I was going to do fine. And then I got punched in the face. And then I didn't have a plan. You never lose until you actually give up. It's kind of similar to my thoughts on the word failure. I hate the word failure. Oh, you failed. Well, you failed if you're done. You failed if you made an effort that did not succeed, and there's no longer effort in that direction. I don't like the word failure, because you can always keep trying. Take a look at this whole enterprise, this entire endeavor. When I started whistlekick, I couldn't get anybody to pay attention to anything that we did. And now we've got people clamoring for a magazine release. And we have so many people that want to come on the podcast that we're booked out literally months. I think as of right now, if you wanted to come on the show, Andrew would have to schedule you, well, regardless of when we recorded. If we recorded with you like tomorrow, your episode wouldn't air for like 10 weeks, maybe 12. We've never had this many people in the queue. And on the one hand, I don't like it, but on the other hand, it's great. It's great to know that this many people want to come on the show. And one of the people I recorded with yesterday, someone who's done some big stuff, someone out of Hollywood, someone that, you know, in our discussion, name dropping projects that you've all seen. And those folks are coming to us. It's kind of cool. We're doing something right. One more quote. So a few requests of you all. One, if you're watching. If you're new, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications. If you're not, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if there's some other way that you're willing to help us out, whether it's leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Facebook or Google or Spotify, anywhere you're willing to leave a review is very helpful. Two, if you're willing to contribute money, you got a couple things. You can buy something at whistlekick.com. Use the code FIRSTCUT15. You can buy one of our training programs at whistlekickprograms.com. They are less expensive than you think. Or you can support the Patreon, get access to, like I mentioned, that exclusive episode, plenty of other stuff. People don't stop contributing to the Patreon because we throw so much value at it. All right, last quote from Mike Tyson, courtesy of Frank. Cat gave up and sat over there. My biggest weakness is my sensitivity. I am too sensitive a person. There's something you wouldn't expect Mike Tyson to say. He's a sensitive person. He likes pigeons. He raises pigeons. I don't know if I would call him a gentle person, but when you hear him talk, he's a thoughtful person. And his sensitivity is likely a result of his childhood. And while we had dramatically different upbringings, there are enough similarities that I can relate to his sensitivity. It's something I've been, I don't know if criticized for is the right word, but something has been pointed out to me. I'm a very sensitive person. I've learned to develop a thicker skin. Part of that has come in part from the content that we produce, because you know what? People poop on me all the time. You should do this. Why didn't you do this? You're wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. You don't have to watch. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree, and I didn't charge you for it. Deal with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with being sensitive. Sensitivity is really just, it is a good understanding of your own emotions. But what has been most helpful for me in tempering my sensitivity is understanding why people say the things that they do. And most of the time, when people are saying things that are hurtful, especially if they're saying them in an intentionally hurtful way, it's because there's something going on with them. If someone says, hey, here's an idea on how you might improve this. I think you were lacking something here, or this or that. But if someone says, blah, blah, you're wrong, it's because something's going on in their lives. They're feeling low, they're feeling badly, they're feeling inadequate. And they're essentially, it's basically bullying. I don't have any tolerance for bullying. But the more you understand where someone's coming from, the easier it is to have some compassion for them. Compassion doesn't mean that you let them off the hook. But as a sensitive person, when I understand where they're coming from, it doesn't hurt as much. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great day. I hope to see you back here tomorrow for another episode. We do it every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And if you've got questions, comments, feedback, thing like that, if it's quick stuff, yeah, drop it in the chat while we're talking. But if it's something a little bit longer, something a little bit more extensive, please leave it in the comment section under the episode and I'll respond tomorrow. So once I hit end, you drop in that comment section and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Be well.